Hello again, everyone. Edwin Learnard back once again. In this YouTube astrological segment, I'm going to be talking about why I believe we need the zodiac sign Sagittarius in our lives. And yes, this does apply and pertain to the sun, moon, and ascendant. Anyway, first thing off is, well, Sagittarius can be like that antidepressant for us, figuratively speaking. They have very often cheerful disposition. They could cheer up the most disconsolate, despondent people. Remember Dick Clark, Sun in Sagittarius, I believe he hosted TV's Bloopers and Practical Jokes. And Sagittarius can be very much of a jokester, and they could often help us out this way and make our spirits better. Had a friend of mine, Sun in Sagittarius, remember he put a pair of fake handcuffs on me. I mean, they're just like the ultimate quintessential jokesters of the zodiac. Anyway, next thing is that Sagittarius, why we need them as well. They could be very sports-minded and athletic. Many of you may remember a legendary NBA player, Michael Jordan, has a Sagittarius moon. Also Aquarius sun. He perhaps revolutionized the game of basketball more so than any other player. And I think, with Sagittarius energy kind of brings good fortune to others because of their optimistic and upbeat nature. And I think Michael Jordan was able to do that. A lot of it attributed to his Sagittarius moon. Now, also, another reason I think we need Sagittarius is because they're very outdoorsy, and you wonder, well, how can that be beneficial to us? Well, Sagittarius can often encourage others to go outside more and promote mental health. They could be very advantageous to very introverted people, like, say, a Cancer or a Pisces, ones that are more introverted, introspective, that are more to themselves. And Sagittarius will often encourage people like that to come outside more. And again, that could be beneficial to one's mental health. Now, excuse me. Another reason why we need Sag in our lives, because Sagittarius can be the incorrigible optimist. They often will see the positive and really remain optimistic even when facing adversity and going through trials and tribulations. You look at head coach, I don't know if he's still technically a head coach or not, but former, if not possibly future head coach as well, Rex Ryan. He said one time, entering the playoffs with the New York Jets, the team was 9-7. They were like the number 6 seed, and he said we should be the favorites. And quarterback Philip Rivers, who was Sun in Sagittarius, even after losing the game, he just basically was saying something about we're going to keep trying and plugging away. I don't remember his exact words of verbatim, but he was still very optimistic and positive, and that really epitomizes Sagittarius energy. Now, another reason why we need Sagittarius, I believe, is because they could often encourage us to expand our horizons and get outside of the box, so to speak. If we're in a certain rut and we're doing the same thing day in and day out, and we're not really being productive or accomplishing much in our lives, they will often encourage us to get outside the box and do something that will really perhaps benefit ourselves or maybe enhance our lives. Those are the kind, that's what Sagittarius will often do. And basically, that is how Sagittarius will operate in many instances. Now, Sagittarius, another reason why we may need them, I think, is because they're very travel-minded. They will often encourage us to go to other countries, explore other cultures, and just find out more about these things, which really otherwise we may have been simply oblivious to. Yeah, we can learn about those things like in high school and college a little bit to some degree, but it might be a completely different experience when you actually see these things head on and actually experience them. So anyway, now another thing about Sagittarius, why I believe we need them in our lives, is because they could be the perpetual scholars and learners of the zodiac. They will often encourage us and really about furthering our education, and that saying that high school learning is simply not enough. They think that we should keep on learning, progressing in terms of our knowledge goes, and what because there's so much more to learn than just getting our basic fundamental education. And really, Sagittarius, that is often how they are. They just want to always keep learning, and they often will inspire us to do the same thing. Now, another thing about Sagittarius is why we need them, I think, is because well, Sagittarius is often very adventurous, and they're often about exploration. They will often encourage us to go to uncharted territory and go to places that we've never been before. Of course, this ties in to being very travel-minded, but they could really be beneficial to people like, say, Taurus or Capricorn, who are often very limited in terms of their traveling. Remember that Taurus often has Capricorn, the sign of restrictions and limitations, on their 9th house cusp of long distance traveling in a natal or solar chart. Sagittarius is just often very exuberant and enthusiastic about going to different places. Hold on a moment, people. Sorry about that, I'm back. But anyway, yes, Sagittarius will often do that for us. But another thing too is that why we need Sagittarius is because they're often have a lot of exuberance and expansiveness in their nature, and this could often rub off on other people. They are the ones that are very effervescent. They will often give life to us when we when we really didn't have it, and make us see the positive aspects and things. And we generally what it does is their enthusiasm will often again, they will transplant onto us. And if we're in the doldrums, or we're despondent or down and out and what have you, they could be the pepper-uppers of the zodiac, and they will be the ones often to give us that really that positive energy boost. So anyway, well, last but not least is the fact that Sagittarius, their presence, there's something about them. I mean, being ruled by Jupiter, it's a planet of luck and fortune. Excuse me a moment, people. Their presence is often very fortuitous for us. They, again, this goes to their positive energy rubbing off on us. They are like that lucky charm for us. It seems like when Sagittarius is in our lives seem to be better. I think what it does is they make us feel more effervescent. We're more positive around them, and positive energy breeds positive results. We often, I think, are able to attract better things in our lives because we're happier people. We need Sagittarius in our lives because they often make our dispositions a little bit more cheerful, and they add fun and enjoyment to our lives. And that is, and even I would say, even as like managers or people in leadership positions, I would think they would be very good, because they would often see the positive elements and aspects in their employees, and they would breed a lot of positive energy in them and laud them for their efforts, and that would encourage them to continue to be good workers for them. And I think that's another reason why we need Sagittarius in our lives. I think they give the positive, the way they act as people, their cheerful disposition, their positive energy, it often does rub off on other people. And people that are subordinate workers to Sagittarius, they will often respond accordingly. So anyway, people, that'll conclude this YouTube astrological segment. As for why I believe we need the zodiac sign Sagittarius in our lives, stay tuned next time, where I'll be talking about why I believe we need the zodiac sign Capricorn in our lives. Two things I want to get with you on before I head out. Firstly, the stars may impel but do not compel. And secondly, never isolate any single astrological element, aspect, planetary placement, position, configuration, influence, or what have you, and make an analysis of a person, astrologically speaking, based on this alone, because astrologically speaking, the person is the sum of all their components in their natal chart and not just one. Until next time, people, stay well.